So I think we're almost ready to go here. Waiting on some final adjustments to the stream here.
So the chain of rooms from the landing site down to the first missile pack and back up to bombs, that is always the same.
Yeah, that as well as Turian are not randomized, so there's not shenanigans at the end or at the beginning.
Yeah, specifically like all the rooms in Turian. The entrance to Turian, the Golden Four statues, that is in a random location, and you will need to find that.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the higher priorities for these runners to find, since I have had Siege where I've spent like hours just looking for G4, and that's no fun, so hopefully that doesn't happen here.
Like, what these races boil down to is looking for that one thing you don't know the location of in the end.
Right.
So, like, if you're unclear about how Door Randomizer works, outside of the chain of rooms I described that let you get first missiles and bombs, every door that you enter, its destination is shuffled. And we normally play with backtracking disabled, which means that if you go back through the door you just came from, you will not end up in the room that you were just in. So this makes it actually really confusing to find your way around the planet.
Yep. I mean, that's basically what it boils down to. It looks like we're starting up here. You can see that the runners already have a missile pack. I assume this means they also have morph ball and bombs already. And yeah.
Okay, so all right, so yeah, it seems you're right. So they're using ROM fixes that I personally not super familiar with, but this does kind of take out the need to do the trek to missiles, bombs, and back, and just get straight to the door randomization. But so we see Alucard doing just that. He's going straight into the door randomization. He's getting an energy tank at the screw attack location, which is kind of saving him from the heat damage.
We also see Monk in the top right going to Gauntlet first. And it leads him back to the climb shaft. It's interesting.
Yeah, so Monk hasn't triggered Awakening yet, actually. And Awakening is kind of there are two states. Like you think the planet being awake would be just one state, but there's actually two different states going on here. So the pit room, where you have your first pirate encounter normally after you grab Morphin missiles, that room uses something called the Morphin missile state, which triggers when you get Morphin missiles. And when you're in that room, if you open a gray door, that triggers the Awakening state. So that room only uses the Morphin missile state. Those surrounding rooms in Criteria and Blue-Brand Star use the Awakening state. So we already have Morphin missiles. That state is triggered. But because the runners hadn't opened a gray door yet, the rest of these rooms were not awakened yet.
Mm-hmm. So the first thing our four runners are going to want to do here is they're going to be looking for items so they don't just get soft locked or die in a heat room, and so they can get all four bosses. Generally what you want to see are like rooms with multiple items in them, like Billy Mays or Brinstar Reserve. So you have better chance of getting a major item here.
So Toasty's going towards Bomb Chorizo, and I think he hasn't quite picked up on like exactly what this ROM is doing. So the game started the players with bombs, but because of the way that the door randomizer works, it doesn't actually randomize bombs to begin with. There's nothing he's getting out of fighting Bomb Chorizo here. And I do want to answer a question about backtracking. So there is a setting in the door randomizer where you can change whether the doors lead you to the place they initially came from or not. If you if you enable this, it's actually a lot more likely to cause permastucks. It's a lot more likely to end up with like loops of rooms that you can't get out of. So I'd say that's the main reason that people play with backtracking off.
Another notable thing about this ROM, I don't know if it's been mentioned yet, is that item fanfares are going to be turned off. So it makes picking up all the missiles you're going to find a lot faster than last race where fanfares were still on. So really unlikely we'll see anybody skip any items here. Monk fighting Spore Spawn. And Alucard actually fighting Kraid as well.
Yeah, so Alucard's in a nice position. He's actually gotten all three types of ammo, missile supers and power bombs. Well, everyone else appears to lack supers still.
Doesn't actually show what Monk has. You saw that briefly on Alucard's stream. If you after exiting Kraid, the graphics kind of glitch out. You can just fix that by pausing and unpausing, but it's kind of funny to see. Fortunately, we didn't get to see much of it. Ooh, Plasma for Ancient. He unfortunately can't get out of the room. So, gonna see him reset there. And that's gonna be a recurring problem. There are gonna be a lot of soft locks in the first few minutes of this run as the runners attempt to get items to avoid said soft locks.
So Alucard using power bombs to check what the gauntlet items are in the back without actually being able to get them. But the knowledge is really good. There's just missiles there, so he won't be needing to worry about getting into that door. But let's say there was something useful there, like a suit. He would then know that eventually he has to go into a left side door to get there.
Toasty got kind of dangerously low there, but looks like he's fine. I believe there's an energy tank in this room as well, so yeah, he's perfectly fine. Yeah, we can already see everyone all in completely different positions, and it's probably going to stay like that for most of the race here.
Yeah, pretty much. So we have Alucard with the only person who's found a major boss, I believe.
Yeah, I wasn't really paying too much attention, but I didn't see anybody else with it. Ooh. Toasty picking
I
up
did not.
space now.
I didn't see where he found Kraid.
No, I didn't either. So
Alright, so Monk taking out Spore Spawn because he doesn't have supers yet. He can't just exit through the green door on the floor. But having defeated Spore Spawn, it is going to open up the passage downward if he ever comes back and ends up coming through the back door.
Yeah, super missiles can sometimes be pretty hard to find in these seeds, since there's only 10 of them, or 10 super packs generally. So it's a good thing Alucard found them early, because for those of you who didn't watch the 3 o'clock race, there were no super missiles found for a very long time, and that was not fun. I believe you were in there.
Oh yeah, that was painful. So I watched that race back and I noticed that Fusta actually did find supers about 15 minutes in, but
yeah.
he was just unable to keep them due to the doors he kept entering after collecting them, leading to room traps, Ridley's room, things like that, just causing him to die and lose those supers. So that's a danger in door randomizer. Is in the beginning you're never really safe. You don't know what doors are going to lead to places you can't get out of, like heated rooms.
Ooh, Monk getting soft lock. I think Toasty got soft lock too. I don't think you can get out of that without high jump.
Yeah, I'm not sure that you can.
That's unfortunate. I saw him pick up Plasma too, so he's gonna have to go back and get that as well.
There are like two-way doors, even if you set the door randomization to 100%, because a broken clock is right twice a day.
We see almost synced resets from Toasty and Ancient. Both of them in a pretty unwinnable position. And
so Monk actually finding the Spore Spawn backdoor, like I was talking about earlier, but because he died, he has not defeated Spore Spawn yet, so he can't do anything here.
You can actually just go back through the door, but he didn't, and now he's kind of in an awkward position here where he's fighting Spore Spawn off screen.
So he's not actually able to get down to where Spore Spawn is because the ceiling blocks that go away when he's dead are still there. He's actually a screen above still. It's just like the room is 3 screens tall and the camera's not moving. He doesn't seem to really be aware of what's going on.
Ooh, Ancient taking a bit of a dip in the acid there.
So I actually saw him in the chat of the 3 o'clock race, and he was asking, he's just asking how to, like where to get the door randomizer, how to play it, wanting to join the 11 o'clock race. So just kind of jumping in there. Probably not somebody who's super experienced with how the game works. So it's understandable that they wouldn't really know what to do when they come across the situation.
Yeah, this is definitely...
This is not something you end up doing in the normal game.
Yeah, this is not a very beginner-friendly randomizer. There's a lot of things you need to know in order to get through rooms with a varying amount of items, and even then, you're still gonna die a lot. So
Ancient finding Spring Ball.
Oh, I missed that.
And Alucard finding Charge Beam. What else is he gonna find in this room? Just some missiles. Oh, he doesn't have enough health to get out.
Unfortunate.
He's gonna want to find that Charge Beam again eventually. Hopefully he knows, or hopefully he can remember where it is.
Yeah,
it's very difficult to remember like large sequences of doors.
I think he is going back to where he found Plasma right now. I don't know how far it is because I wasn't really paying attention. But
there's a lot going on in these. Like, you don't know what to expect.
It's this room. And we'll see if he can keep it this time. Hopefully he can. That would give him a pretty big advantage, having a very powerful item ahead of everyone else. It does a lot of damage. Alucard taking another death there. It's a pretty tough room to get the charge beam from, especially with so little energy in Novaria. But we'll see if he can do it.
Monk was in the pre-Ridley room. It looked like he was actually trying to get across it.
That's odd. Maybe he knew it was the other way. I wasn't really looking, but
He might have come out the door. He might have come out the side of the Ghidorah and not had the missiles to open it.
Maybe.
So like this is a big danger early on, especially when you lack supers. Is you can the game can spit you out in front of a super door in a heated room, and you just won't be able to do anything.
Oh, Toasty, he also found Kraid. I still wasn't looking where he was, but definitely going to be a pretty easy fight, as it usually is.
Well, we know Kraid's available early game. Depending on where the other runners go, it is possible that they'll miss Kraid and be looking for him much later.
Hopefully that doesn't happen, but we'll see. Unfortunately, Toasty.
But
yeah, he doesn't have charge, so he still has to use missiles here.
Yeah, I think Alucard was the only one to find charge and did not manage to keep it.
Yep. Nice great fight from Toasty. And he's gonna see if he can get to a save for the ship with the boss down and Plasma. We get to see more of the super fun Kraid glitching out everything. I'm happy.
So the reason this happens is there's a specific part of the tile set referred to as the common room elements, or CRE, and normally it's universal to every tile set. It's got like the standard girder tiles. It's got energy recharge station graphics in it. It's got door cap graphics. Just stuff that you'll expect to find in basically every tile set.
Right.
But in Kraid's room, Kraid's graphics take up so much space that they actually needed to repurpose the CRE to accommodate it.
It's kind of funny, actually.
So what the game does is there's a special bit flag on the doors going in and out of his room that refreshes the CRE. So it makes sure that it reloads it to make sure that it has Kraid's graphics and not the standard blocks that it usually has. And then when you leave the room, it has to refresh it again to make sure that it's got the standard blocks that the rest of the world has. So in Door Rando, the doors that lead to and from Kraid do not necessarily have that bit flag set. So you get Kraid graphics, all sorts of blocks.
You saw Toasty saving at the ship with his plasma and space jump. Meanwhile, Ancient picking up his plasma as well. So both of them.
Alucard ending up in a situation I was talking about where if you don't have supers, you can get trapped in a heated room behind a super door.
Luckily, he had a save. Looks like semi-recently, so he's not in a too bad of a position here.
So he saved his supers, so like I know he obviously had them, but I think he just had 0 ammo for them, maybe. Or maybe he... Like, it was either that, or he was trying to explore and wasn't really thinking.
Maybe. I'm not really sure either.
Fun fact, this randomizer doesn't actually have any logic, if you guys were wondering about that.
Oh, yeah. It just randomizes doors. It does its job.
I was told that the person who worked on this, whose name is I believe, can of worms. I think he created the door randomizer entirely because of Adair. He's actually, I think, mostly a Fire Emblem hacker.
Really?
Yeah, but one of his friends, like I honestly don't remember who, but someone who was into SM knew him and joked about
Toasty running into a Ridley there.
Joked about a door randomizer, and he was just like, okay, and he just whipped one out within 24 hours.
That's impressive, actually. Yeah,
I heard that he ended up doing the same thing with Zero Mission. Sorry to cut you off.
No, I was gonna say, unfortunately, Toasty, I think he ran into a save, but didn't use it, so now he's back at the ship. He still has his plasma and all, so it's not too bad, but he loses a little bit of time there if he's going back the same way.
So the ship is really nice, or like any room in the initial chain between landing site and Blue Brinstar. It's really nice to happen upon because you've got your guaranteed save of the ship, and you've got this kind of hub of doors that you hopefully remember where some of them lead. One thing that I haven't actually noticed any of the runners do yet, but is good to do in door randomizers is making backups of your save file. So just copying it when you get a chance. Toasty finding the Norfair Reserve Room, which we know we're charge. We know Charge is here.
He's actually like gonna get it with his space jump. Makes the room a lot easier, and
Yeah.
almost falls into the acid there.
Ancient finding Bottoon's room from behind.
Fortunately, the door is a blue door, so he can just walk out. But yeah, he can't really fight Bottoon right now. Or like that.
You actually, like, you can sneak missiles past the wall, gate glitch style. Like, that works, but it's not fun to do 30 times, or however many.
All the runners seem pretty even on items right now. They all have really similar energy and missile levels.
Ancient is a little far ahead in terms of energy.
Yeah.
Ooh, Monk is trying to run the whole speed booster hallway without speed.
Without speed,
Barely
it's
going to
not
make
fast.
it.
But he's okay.
He has reserves, but I really don't know how much is in them. I think Ancient is either taking a breather or needed to think about something.
Hey, these definitely require a lot of thinking. So I don't really blame him there.
He did mention in the last race that he approaches door randos fairly systematically, which I think is a good way to go about it.
Right. Yeah, like somebody pointed out in chat, the area map is gonna be pretty hectic since they're not actually going in a straight line. There's just gonna be little blips all over the place. That's kind of interesting.
Map's pretty useless in this.
Yeah. Alucard giving us high jump boots. Really nice item to have there. See another little graphical work there with the Phantoon Ghidorah. I'm not totally sure what causes that.
That just happens when you come out of the door with the Ghidorah still there. I don't know why that makes it happen, but that is what makes it happen.
Toasty picked up X-ray at some point, so now he does have charged plasma and X-ray. He's got the full microwave set up.
So Monk getting the wall jump up to the power bomb door in Green Hill Zone.
It's definitely really tricky. So pretty impressive.
Like just from like how he I guess for lack of better phrasing, just wanted to kind of jump into this race. Doesn't seem to have much SM experience. There's a lot of people who do run the game who don't know that you can do that wall jump without high jump.
It's definitely really nice, really fun to pull off. The Toasty in an unfortunate situation here. I don't think he's gonna survive that. He's just gonna reset.
I'm not really sure what Toasty was trying to do there. Because it looked like
I think he was trying to check the item.
Jumped right into the spike platform, which does 200 damage.
Yeah, he was trying to check the item, but unfortunately was not successful in making it.
Oh, he still didn't have super missiles, I think, so
yeah,
he had nowhere to go. I still think that if he had been more careful, he could have been able to make it out of the room.
To answer chat, in Green Hill Zone, the power bomb door, you can wall jump up to that without high jump, like wall jumping off the pipe, and that's what it did. Screw attack from Alucard. Another really good gravity suit.
Gravity in Terminator room.
So gravity does protect against heat damage in this. See some fun graphical glitches there as well. Entering Crocomire from the wrong way.
Oh wow, that really messed up the background.
Yeah. Gravity is one of the best items, if not the best item, to find in Rando. So the fact that he found it just 25 minutes in gives him a pretty huge advantage over the other runners.
He has a ton of energy tanks too.
So we'll see. We'll see how that benefits him.
I didn't see if he managed to go back to Norfair Reserve and grab charge. I don't think he did.
I'd imagine he would want to head back there if he remembers where it is. I don't know if he does.
Once he gets that, he's mostly going to be set for items. He's just going to be looking for the doors he needs.
He also doesn't have plasma though, and I don't think he's found it at all yet, so it might not be as high up on his list of priorities. Definitely still something he's going to need to pick up at some point though. And speaking of no beam, he's finding the wave beam there. It's finding everything.
That is the second strongest beam in the game. So it's helping his beam situation out.
Ancient also picking up a wave beam and getting a interesting spring wall strat through the tunnel, I guess? Whatever you want to call it.
My sources do tell me that that is, in fact, a tunnel.
Thank you.
I I am not sure what happened to Monk Monk. I looked away, but it looks like he fell out of bounds somehow.
And
I'm
unfortunately,
really,
I hope he can make it through this. Okay,
I'm
okay, he's
really
safe.
confused as to what happened because the camera, like the mini map, not blinking anymore. That's one of the indicators that you're out of bounds. Not actually within the room anymore.
Luckily for him, he still made it through the room, and I'm not sure what he's doing. He should probably just be going for a refill here, but playing a yeah, he's thinking. Oh no, he is gonna go into the room. Interesting. Luckily for him, it's a save room. He's not gonna take it. Sure what he's doing? Hmm. Oof.
Toasty still doesn't have supers.
That he doesn't.
And I
Alucard's
still,
coming back to this room. He finally gets to check this item without dying now that he has gravity.
oh yeah, this is gonna be really easy for him now.
Yeah, screw attack too, so he doesn't even have to worry about the forget what that enemy's called.
The Disgiga.
The
Okay, so
Piskia.
that's actually a super missile pack in there. That's pretty funny because it means that you could actually get it as your first and then be able to double back to the bottom door in the wasteland. Oh, an Alucard finding grapple in double chamber.
I think he has. No, he doesn't have plasma yet, so that's gonna make Dragon really easy. I believe that's a missile in that item that Alucard just checked. Like I've had I don't remember what that room is called. The first room in not Sandy Meridia, but I've had that item be like charged. So it can definitely be something really good, and luckily it's just a missile there.
Oh, if you're talking about the room with the item you have to Shine Spark to, that's called Main Street.
I thought it was. I just wasn't confident in that.
Okay, so Toasty finding his gravity, which I'm told Edecoons led to it.
I wasn't watching, so I'll assume chat's right this time. Oh no. Having a pretty rough bot wound fight. Unfortunately couldn't dodge the spit there.
Yeah, I mean, deaths like this are fairly par for the course in Dora Rando.
Oh yeah, for sure. But obviously still not something you want to see.
So the glitchy room, the glitchy Norfair room you may have seen from multiple of our runners so far, is actually the back door of Crocomyre's room, entered while Crocomyre is still alive. And it's super glitchy because while Crocomyre is still alive, the camera is specifically set to not be able to scroll in that area past the spike wall. So when it sees the cameras on that area, even though Samus is in it, the game just tries to force it away from that screen as soon as possible, so the camera just goes out of bounds.
You can see Alucard fighting his Botwoon fight. He has a lot more ammo and gravity, so it's going to be quite a bit easier for him. And yeah, it looks like he's already almost dead. And there it is.
Okay, so it looks like the door into Gravitron leads to the back door of Kraid.
I thought the other people entered it through the front, but either way.
I want to say Alucard went through the back. I'm really not sure.
Either way, we see Monk. Probably gonna finish off Kraid pretty easily. Well, he's taking a bit of damage. He should be fine. Ooh, G4 from Ancient. I was not looking where that was, but that's definitely really useful information for him. Although I don't think he's actually fought a boss yet, so maybe.
Okay, so this is interesting. So Ancient Gamer has Spring Ball and High Jump, so he's actually okay to check this item. He'll be able to do a mid-air Spring Ball jump to get back out. Just a pack of power bombs.
We'll see if he knows how to get out. I assume he does if he went down here.
Oh, he definitely knows. He knows how to do this.
Yeah, he's a very experienced door render runner. I would assume he knows what he's doing here.
He's just an experienced rando runner in general.
Right.
I mean, so is Alucard. Toasty is definitely up and coming too. He's gotten into it. So Toasty's gotten into it a lot more recently, but he's been winning some races. People do item randomizers fairly often in the Discord. Okay. Ancient going into Ridley, just noping out of that, just resetting instantly, knows he's gonna die.
See Toasty getting plasma. Finding Ice Beam at plasma. He has the plasma and screw attack to kill these guys, and so he should get out no problem. That's another really good item to have just for Turian, of course. Still looking for super missiles, though.
I honestly couldn't tell you where any of them were.
I mean, I know where some of them are, I just don't know how to get to them from where Toasty is.
Like, you might... It's hard to follow, because you might remember a room that supers were in, but what room led to that room?
Yeah, definitely hard to track, and really just as hard for the runners to track it. It's definitely one of the biggest skills of running Door Rando.
I will say it's a lot easier for the runners than it is for us, because they only have to watch one screen.
Right.
Alright, so Toasty wants to check the item that's behind the Fune. Gets the bomb jump behind it. You have to your bomb jump has to go a bit diagonally for that to work.
Oh. Well, he found super missiles there. That's definitely a very good thing to find.
Yeah, and since he has gravity, I really don't think he's going to be losing this pack.
Right.
He also had the option of power bombing the Fune. That is another way to kill it if you don't have supers. Monk showing us my favorite glitched out graphic, the save station. Looks like a demon spine.
Yeah. Pretty great, I agree.
These glitched out graphics actually will just go away if you pause the game since that refreshes the CRE.
Right, but doesn't look like he knows to do that, so looks like we're gonna get to enjoy some beautiful graphics working as intended.
I mean, if it were up to me, I'd just leave them on as long as possible.
I don't know if I agree with you there. But either way, definitely interesting to see. See, Ancient picking up Wave Beam again, and Toasty getting Grapple.
Okay, so at this point, Ancient Gamer has found Ridley. I think somebody else may have found Ridley.
I believe Toasty did, but yeah, I don't remember where. He's actually, with Gravity and Plasma, he's got pretty good. He's got pretty good items to fight Ridley if he's confident.
So Alucard is in Gold Teresa's room, and does not have Charge Beam, so he's going to have to kill GT with supers. You see him shooting all his missiles. He's actually trying to get his missile count under 32. If your missile count is 32 or above, then GT has the option of firing crescent beams. If you don't, then he'll always shoot the orbs, which you can farm. So you want to make sure you can farm these orbs as much as possible.
Right. Doing a pretty good job with it, although I'm not sure why he isn't just using Grapple Beam to pick up the drop. Either way,
that's a good point, actually.
Seems to be doing just fine, and this fight should be over relatively quickly.
It just might not be occurring to him.
It's not really something you would do unless you run, like, a category that kills GT.
I don't know, like, Alucard is really experienced in door randos. He did a lot of them back in the day. I don't think he does them too much anymore because he does a lot more Link to the Past rando stuff these days. But back before that existed, he did a lot of door randos, let me tell you.
Right. Unfortunately, Monk is a bit stuck. Once again, I don't think you can get out of that without at least high jump. So, he's gonna have to reset here, unfortunately. There we go. Ooh, Phantoon. That's a really good find from Ancient. For those who don't know, Phantoon is the hardest boss to find since all other bosses have 2 doors that lead to them, and Phantoon has just 1. So it's another room that you can spend literal hours looking for. So definitely a good thing to find it here with Charged Plasma, it looks like.
I still don't think Ancient Gamer is charged.
Oh. Maybe not. But either way, he has plenty of energy and plenty of missiles, so this shouldn't be too hard of a fight. But it is Fantoon.
It's just a matter of how much time is this going to take him.
It is Fantoon, though. You never know.
I think we have every beam in play except for a Spacer, because Toasty has ice.
Toasty, so does Alucard, I believe.
Oh yeah, you're right. I think Alucard has ice and wave. Toasty has ice and plasma. Ancient has plasma and wave.
Monk is unfortunately still looking for his first beam, but there's still plenty of time.
Yeah, without high jump, you don't want to be jumping into the sand.
What you want to do is you want to be holding a either angle up or angle down when you go through the room, so you can just stop moving and completely stop your momentum when you enter a room, so you don't just fly into the quicksand if you find a room like that. You see Toasty fighting Ridley. He's got plenty of energy as well as having plasma ice charge, so this should be fairly easy for him. And that's another very, very nice boss to take down.
Yeah, well, Onslow's the death trap is just now completely reasonable to do.
Looks like he's about dead.
Still don't think Alucard has managed to find Charge Beam again.
I think it's just Toasty with charge right now, which is really crucial, especially with plasma.
It's really important for Ridley, so I think if Alucard were to know where Ridley is, I don't think he knows where Ridley is, but he does have enough ammo for it. Not super comfortably, but he does have enough.
And there we see Ridley going down for Toasty. I think he also has Kraid down, so that's just 2 bosses left. I don't think anyone's found Dragon yet, though, so we will see who's the first to find that.
Yeah, have not seen Dragon yet.
And see Monk trying to check the item. Unfortunately, there is a worker robot blocking the way, but I think even if he were to even if it wasn't there, the item, most items in Wrecked Ship don't actually appear until you've beaten Fantoon, so even if he were to get back there, he wouldn't have an item. And you see right there, the item just not being there because Wrecked Ship is still asleep.
So you can actually cargo through that inactive work robot and get behind there. I still think the item's gone, but either way, if you do that, you're stuck permanently there because you can't get rid of the work robot at that point.
Right.
But Fantoon is definitely the most significant boss to find in this. Like you said earlier, there's only one door leading to it, so it's more difficult to find than the other bosses. But it also unlocks the most doors. It basically unlocks the entirety of Wrecked Ship and causes all the items to actually appear in their rooms. The exception being the main shaft, the missile on the left. That's always there.
Right. I believe it's only Ancient that's even found Fantoon so far. The other 3 are still on the hunt. I'm not sure where it was either, so we will see.
I think it's really hard for us to be sure really where anything is in a seed like this. The seed has not been too nasty, honestly. Like, we've got gravity. We haven't seen too many deaths. We haven't seen too many retracing of steps, backtracks. And that's something that was seen a lot in the seed prior because it was so brutal. So I think that enabled just about everyone to get a lot more familiar with what exactly was there and who needed to find what.
The seed has definitely been a lot more generous. Even I don't remember if the last seed did, but it even given most of the beams away. You can see everyone having at least everyone besides Monk having at least 2. And that's also definitely a good thing to have for Ridley and Mother Brain eventually. Oof. Alucard bomb jumping up the double chamber, but K goes through the platform there. Kinda unfortunate, but he's fine. There he goes. And see, Ancient picked up Gravity. I don't remember when he did that, but also a good item for him to find. One thing to note, if the runners do not find Varia, Mother Brain will still do 6 energy tanks of damage with her Rainbow Beam attack. Shouldn't be too much of a problem since most of our runners have plenty of energy, but it is something to keep an eye out for. And
okay, Ancients. Getting back to Ridley, I actually don't remember if he's been here before.
I don't think he has enough. I mean, no, he has power bombs. He barely has enough ammo, but he doesn't have charge, so that makes the fight a lot more difficult.
I quite honestly, I don't think he has enough. Let me think. So 20 power bombs. Power bombs do 200. They can hit twice, so that's potentially 400 per. So that's a maximum 8,000 damage he's getting from the power bombs. 9 supers is 5,400 damage, so that's 13,000. And then missiles are 100 each. So actually, yeah, it would be enough if he double hits every power bomb. But I think he's wasted too many missiles for this to be doable.
Unfortunately, I don't know if he knows that he doesn't quite have enough. So he may waste a lot of time here, only to inevitably reset, but hopefully he can do it. I can also see Toasty finding G4 on a more positive note.
Honestly, kind of surprised at how reckless Ancient's been throughout this fight.
Ooh, Alucard also
felt
finding
like the power bombs were a big enough cushion.
Alucard also finding Ridley here. He does have charge beam and a bit more ammo, and more health. So this should go no problem. Unfortunately, we
don't have plasma.
No, but I think he should still be fine.
Yeah, he's got a lot of ammo to supplement this. He certainly has enough to kill Ridley without charge. I think Ancient is going to be experiencing a heartbreaking moment.
Unfortunately, it looks like he's gonna die before he can actually get every power bomb anyways. Definitely doesn't feel good to spend that much time at Ridley just to die, but it's just another thing you have to accept when you do a door rando, I guess.
I think Monk is actually stuck in the Plasma Pirate's room.
It looks like he has high jump? No. Wait, no, he doesn't.
Oh, never mind. He has Plasma. He's fine.
Maybe challenges
I
actually.
feel like that looks like high jump.
Either way, he can just bomb jump out if he's having too much trouble. It looks like he's more concerned with killing the pirate annoyingly jumping around the room.
He'll definitely be able to bomb jump out. Basically, the first thing he did was bomb jump up to the gauntlet.
And there we go. Got a bit low, but Alucard finishes off his Ridley fight. And so that's another runner with 2 bosses down. I think everyone's done great at this point, but I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not 100% sure on anything.
Yeah, that's about right.
Oh, I think he actually wants to use this frozen pirate.
I don't know why he does though. He should know he could just bomb jump out. This seems unnecessarily risky, especially since I believe it will it'll one-shot him at this point. And that's just an unnecessary risk to go for, really. He does get it though.
Not occurring to him for whatever reason to bomb jump, or maybe he just really wanted to do it this way.
He got it, at least, so there's that.
He got it, but he still has to kill the pirate to get out of the room, so this is a bit problematic. I think he's kind of realizing this. I think he kind of wants to snipe it from up here, but not sure how well this is going to work out. That pirate almost hit him, jumping across the room.
Hopefully he realizes it, but I don't know. It's like Toasty.
Toasty's done a great fight recently.
I think he just entered the room at some point, so he's got more fun glitches.
Right. It'll still do that if you re-enter the room.
You see Sephi fish. Unfortunately, neither Sephi nor Ponk are here to watch this race, but Ninja doesn't kill it anyways. He's just a good guy like that. Gonna just be rewarded with a missile though in this Meridia reserve room. And Monk, I didn't see if he actually did it, but he made it out of the room finally.
Yeah, he killed that pirate and just ended up bomb jumping out. Alright, so Toasty, coming into the power bomb, the Lower Norfair escape. Couldn't tell what the item was because of the glitched out graphics from Crate, so he actually just fixed them real quick while pausing. Now the thing is, the only item graphics that are in the CRE are your like generic pickups like missiles, supers, E-tanks, etc. All of the major upgrades have separate graphics that are they're not necessarily present in all tile sets. Their graphics are kind of swapped in as they're needed, so they will not be affected by Kraid's graphics bugging out. You will know for sure that that is not a unique item, even if you don't know what it is.
And Toasty, I wasn't really paying attention, but he also found Phantoon, and with Charge Plasma X-Ray, he was a pretty easy fight for him. And that's 3 bosses down, and he knows where G4 is, so he's just looking for Dragon at this point.
And he doesn't know it, but everyone else is still looking for Dragon as well. So that tells us that it's probably in a pretty hard place to find.
It could be some interesting shenanigans like the top Dragon door leading to the bottom door, or vice versa, in which case there's only one door you can actually find him through. Hopefully that isn't the case for Toasty's sake, but we will see.
I mean, it's unlikely, but yeah, that can happen.
Not sure where Toasty's going. The item is below him.
Alright, Monk going to make an attempt at the Ninja Pirates.
He's having a bit of trouble getting through this room, unfortunately, but he should be able to get it.
Like, he still hasn't found gravity, and once he finds that, his life is going to be a lot easier.
He's trying to kill the pirates, actually. Takes a kick to the face there, though. That's not something you generally want to do, but he gets through it just fine.
Alright, so he knows how to dodge them, at least. Just didn't quite pull it off the first time. And he did have a save very close to there, so it wasn't that slow for him to try the fight again.
You can see him going through that room. I assume he knows there's something good on the other side of it, but I'm not sure.
I just want to say, less than an hour in, and... Oh, okay. Yeah, less than an hour in, and we have somebody with 3 bosses down. Quite a contrast to the siege earlier today, where I think over an hour in, about an hour in, was I think most people's first boss.
Yeah, this is definitely a significantly faster seed, which I'm sure the runners are fairly happy about. Usually not fun to just make no progress for the first hour, so it's a good thing. There's Dragon for Toasty.
Oh wow, that's his 4th boss. So Ancient did something really cool, and that is the door that he came out of in Big Pink, which is normally the exit from the Mission Impossible room. That door has the crumble block underneath it. And usually if you're not aware of it, you're just going to fall through the crumble block and you won't be able to check which way the door goes on the other side. But he did manage to jump off the crumble block and make sure you can go back into the door.
Toasty with a nice microwave kill onto Dragon, and he's just looking for a G4 at this point. He's got everything he needs to beat the game. So he It looks like he has this in the bag, but you can never be too sure with these.
It's very possible to forget where G4 is. I've definitely had some seeds drag on for an extra hour or so, just trying to find it again, even if I had found it before. But that, I suppose, is like really my fault as a player. It's a pretty important entrance to note.
Hopefully Toasty knows where he's going, but we will see.
I hope he does, I sure don't.
Me neither. Well, there's Ridley. Maybe not where you wanted to go, but we'll see. Can I go ahead and check the precious room, I believe it's called. Just a reserve tank there.
Okay, so Monk is out of bounds in the exact same room that I saw him out of bounds in before. I'm really like this wasn't a freak accident. I don't know what is up with this game, but it's happened more than once to him.
Unfortunately, can't get through the room out of bounds, and he makes it, but he's probably just gonna die to these.
Yeah, good call.
Unfortunate.
I actually did not remember that the side hoppers were behind there. But yeah, like that's super weird. So this has been discussed before, but if you're not on camera, or like if a projectile is not on camera, it despawns in 2 frames. So that's why he had to be point blank where the door was to be able to shoot it open.
Also, I didn't get that pointed out. We saw Toasty using a X-ray for intended strats, using it to check the second item in Billy Mays.
It's actually a good strat for randomizer.
I mean, without item fanfare, it seems like it'd be worth just to pick it up, but you know.
Yeah, maybe, but like he's in item go mode, so I was actually surprised he went out of his way to check the missile in the precious room.
In Alucard, finding Fantoon, he's actually not too far behind Toasty if he can find Dragon. So this race could still be fairly close.
So I'm not sure if Toasty remembers where G4 is, but it does look like what he's doing is mostly going through doors that he's been through already.
What it might be is that he remembers the room before G4, but he doesn't actually remember how to get to that room. So, if that's the case, that's obviously unfortunate. But we'll see how fast he can find it.
Oh, he's found the correct back door again.
Maybe not what he was looking for, but at least there's fun graphical glitches.
Alucard doing Attempting an X Factor Pantone.
It looks like he got it
Oh yeah.
pretty well.
I know he missed a full set of them about halfway through the fight. What this kind of stood out to me is he's the only person with gravity to not also have plasma, and I think Ancient is the only one with gravity.
I think he's just the only one who doesn't have plasma in general, actually. So.
Oh yeah, Monk does have it. You're right.
To answer chat, right now Toasty is theoretically in the lead, having all 4 bosses killed, but it's still very close. Unfortunately, Monk not quite having the experience with Rando the others do, and is a little bit farther behind, but who knows?
So the whole like inexperience thing, this makes me wonder because there's a lot of things, there's a lot of paths we didn't actually catch. Like we didn't catch exactly what led to gravity. I think we were told it was Zetokins, but I'm not sure what leads to that. But it does kind of hint that maybe it was a path that someone who hasn't done Doranos before might not have thought to take.
Oh, Alucard actually finding Dragon. He has to go for the grapple kill here since he doesn't have plasma, but he also hasn't found G4 yet. But this just got really close. Of course, he is going to have a slower Mother Brain fight than Toasty because he doesn't have plasma yet. But if he finds it early enough, it might not matter.
So Toasty is in the central hub of rooms again, connected to the landing site. This could be a really good sign. If, like, he might know how to get to G4 based on that. But if he doesn't, then this is actually interesting because I'm pretty sure he did see G4 before, right? He has been in the room.
I missed it, but Monk picked up Varia somewhere. That would make him the only person to have Varia. So that's not as nice as Gravity, but a nice item to have.
That's really interesting. Because he's gone somewhere nobody else has gone. I think the lack of item fanfare is also making it harder to catch where exactly people are finding items.
Chat's telling me that Varia was at Ridley E-Tank room. Not sure where that was. Unfortunately, that isn't too helpful, but...
Yeah, like, where was that? What room led to that? And then, okay, sure, what room led to that? It's hard to find meaning in these kinds of things.
You can see Ancient fighting Crockermeyer. We know he isn't going to find anything good here, though, since with Varia found, that covers pretty much every major item besides Speed Booster and Spazer that's been found by someone.
Oh, Alucard with a really nice short hot mock ball within the room. That can be a bit of a difficult thing to do for some players, because normally when doors aren't randomized, to get that mock ball under those gates, you have the luxury of using the door transition from the other room.
Look at that, I said it wouldn't be anything good, and it ended up being Speed Booster, so I guess unfortunate call-outs there.
I mean, we know Speed Booster is not necessary at this point. He doesn't know that, of course.
I mean, it is still a nice item to have.
I know he would have much rather seen charge.
Alright, he doesn't have charge yet. That's... We hear the boss music still going. It's oh. It's gone.
Yeah, the boss music recurring is kind of a side effect of how songs in the game work. I am not 100% sure on the details, but from what I understand, there's each room has song 1 and song 2. For bosses like Crocmire and Fantoon.
I'm not sure what happened to Toasty here. He's got like all of the doors are showing up blue. I think he I'm not sure what he did.
Oh, he. I don't know if you watched the 3 p.m.
Oh yeah, I watched you do the out of bounds, or the not technically out of bounds, the whatever you would call it. But anyways,
it's not technically out of bounds. But at some point, Toasty went through a door transition where the door was not flush with the side of the screen, and that's what's causing this graphical glitch.
It's the ancient fighting.
Basically, like anything that's considered an object is not it's not updating visually properly, and its graphics are offset.
You can see the door split in half up at the top. So hopefully he can find a save so he can reset and get rid of that. But
yeah, that's the only way to fix that. But basically, the song thing is it comes into play more in boss rooms, but like normally when you transition between 2 areas, if you notice the music has to change between the 2 areas, the door transition is longer. It literally has to load the new song. But in certain boss rooms, obviously there's no transition between when the boss is dead or when it's appearing. So particularly bosses like Kraid, Fantoon, Crocomire, that particular theme. It's got like the intro to it, like the kind of creepy music that starts it off, and then the actual boss music. And then after you kill it, it's got the like item room beat boop.
The beat boop.
The item room ambience is song 2. So when you take a door transition back to another area, normally it's just gonna load. It's just gonna load whatever music's supposed to be in that room, because usually boss music has a separate room from the room prior to it. But in Door Randomizer, because you're taking door connections that like aren't supposed to lead to
where they do. They don't lead to where they would normally do in the game.
Yeah, so the game is specifically set up so that any room that is adjacent to a room that might have a different song will force load the correct song. If the room is only adjacent to rooms that have the same song, it will not load a new song. It will continue playing the last one. So that's why during door randomizers, you'll hear like Meridian music and Lower Warfare and things like that. It's because you're entering rooms that aren't adjacent to rooms where there's a song change. So if you enter one of those rooms that isn't programmed to have a song change, it doesn't load the new song. It just defaults back to song 1, which is the boss music.
Another interesting thing for rooms not playing the music they normally would is you will notice that some enemies play different sound effects than they normally would. I don't know the technical side of this game as much as Elm does, but I assume it's for a similar reason.
A lot of enemies, not all of them, but a lot of enemies' sounds repurpose instruments from the background music. So if the wrong background music is playing, then it tries to pull the same like sound sample from the same area, but it's a completely different song. So it just pulls something that like the developers weren't expecting. So you end up with things like Deskigas and Metroids sounding like shattering glass.
Oh yeah. That's always fun. I think that was the one we heard a little bit earlier. But there's all sorts of fun stuff. Toasty, unfortunately. I think he can't find where to shoot because of the graphics. Finds it eventually, just a missile. But he definitely, unfortunately for him, he doesn't know that he can save and reset. Or maybe he just can't find a save. But either way, it's definitely not helping him out.
I haven't seen him come across a save. It can take a while to find a save in this.
I want to say he came across the ship, or one of the rooms leading to the ship, but did not go and save.
Yeah, maybe. It is kind of comical to keep it on like this. But I'm really curious what door he misaligned that he went through that caused this.
Apparently it was a backdoor shack tool. He, I guess waited to let the screen scroll down too long.
Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. It doesn't matter like how far vertically the screen scrolls, but it matters whether the door you go through horizontally is flush against an edge or not.
Ah.
Alright, so he is saving. I think he's gonna reset now. Yep.
Ah.
And I am glad to see he didn't reset prematurely.
That would have been very unfortunate.
So most save stations, pretty much as soon as you hit confirm and the save animation starts, you can reset your game. It's already saved. But for the ship, you have to wait for the actual save comes later. I don't know exactly when it is. Just to be safe, I wait until she's out of the ship and moving again. But it does not work instantly, and that's a mistake I made before.
I have done the same thing. So luckily Toasty did not. Him and Alucard are still both looking for G4. So, an Ancient coming across charge finally.
I wonder if those are frustration shots on his part.
I would imagine so. But he still has Dragon and Ridley to fight. But Toasty has spent a fair amount of time looking for G4, so it's still possible that Ancient can find it first.
Yeah, this is anyone's race at this point. So I think I had seen Toasty find G4 before. I might be wrong, but let's just say for the sake of argument that he did. This is a very nice background. might add. Shoutouts to the designer.
Classic.
But like, let's say that he knew where it was. He's come across it and he's just forgotten where it is. Like, do you think that Alucard not knowing where it is at all might have an advantage?
I think so, actually. Where Toasty has to go through doors that he's already been through, and those could lead anywhere. Whereas Alucard has to find new doors, which also could lead anywhere. But even if he doesn't find G4 immediately, it could lead to a new path that he hasn't seen.
The thing about retracing your steps is when you're looking at specifically doors that you've already been through before, it's easy to forget, like, at that point you're forgetting which ones you've checked off twice. Like, you could think, oh, yeah, I've been through here, but I think I've been through here again, so I'm not going to go through here.
Is this even randomized? Ancient finding reserve at a vanilla reserve spot?
Yeah, it's probably the Norfair Reserve.
No, it was Wreck Ship Reserve, but... Oh, you're saying the item was the Norfair Reserve tank? Maybe.
I was kind of hoping for like a sub 130 seed here. I think it totally could have been possible, but G4 just isn't turning out for our bottom runners.
Unfortunately, that is the case. It's still pretty tense. Like at any point they could find G4, and it's just complete. Like, how fast can they get through Turian after that?
I think Alucard still hasn't found Plasma.
I'll have to wait for him to actually shoot. Or shoot.
I can't tell, he's shooting point blank at the doors.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't have it, so...
I thought he had ice, though. He doesn't have it equipped for some reason.
He took it off for Expectors. Probably never turned it back on.
Obviously, it's not something you really need, especially when he has I believe he has space jump. Yep. So it could be just a convenience thing, being able to one-shot most enemies instead of 2 shots, and because it gets frozen.
Yeah, having a solid enemy block your path too.
You look at most any percent runs, they will generally keep ice off until they need it. For that exact reason, it's just faster. And also X factors, but has the added benefit of making things faster. Unfortunately, not too much is going on here at this point. We just have 2 people looking for G4 and Ancient hunting for his last couple of bosses, and Monk, unfortunately, a little bit behind, still hunting for a few key items he needs. Toasty finally picking up Spring Ball. Maybe that's a good sign. Ancient also finally finding space junk. It's kind of funny that some people are still picking up items that everyone else has had for an hour, but it's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, it could just as easily be that way for a boss. Like everyone's found Kraid at this point, but Kraid could have been straggling for somebody. They just didn't go the right way at the start.
Toasty using his X-ray, unfortunately, still couldn't quite see the item. I wanna say Alucard's close to G4. Maybe not.
I have honestly had this exact situation turn a 1 hour seed into a 3 hour seed for me before.
Oh, I think anyone who runs these more than just like once or twice have definitely experienced stuff like this. Almost consistently, it feels like. Just looking for the last piece of the puzzle to actually beat the game. Oh, there's Ridley.
Wait. Ancient Gamer didn't have Ridley done?
No, he died.
Oh, that's right, because he ran out of ammo. That's right. And he only found charge recently. Okay.
He's actually got a fully stacked beam, so this is definitely going to go a lot better. Takes a little bit of damage, but he'll be fine.
Right, he's totally fine. Okay, so he had less damage than I thought he did.
Yeah, he was still looking for Ridley and Dragon, and he's also found G4, but like Toasty, I don't know if he remembers where it is. So we will see. I mean,
I'm not a huge fan of like writing stuff down during your services. I feel like it breaks the flow of playing. But G4 is definitely something I will write down.
Yeah, this is still a very close race, just because Toasty doesn't remember where G4 is. So, you might be right about that.
I'm still assuming that he's been there before.
I swear he has.
I'm still not actually sure.
I'm pretty sure he has, but I can't say for certain at this point.
It's tough too when it's somewhere you've been already, because you start to instinctively avoid that door. Just because you know you've been there, and even if you're looking for somewhere you've been, some doors you still avoid.
Let's see some more nice boss music for Ancient. Oh. Every time I say something, it changes. Although music changes generally pretty frequently in these, since there's so many different rooms that trigger music change. So, usually don't hear the same thing for too long.
It just depends when you hit one of those rooms that actually has a music transition.
Oh yeah, for sure. It could theoretically take a long time, but realistically it won't take more than a couple minutes. for anyone who didn't catch the start of the broadcast, what a door randomizer is it does basically what it says. It randomizes which exit and a door entrance will take you to, meaning that, for example, a door in Brinstar will take you to a door in Meridia, but going back through the door will take you to another random location in, say, Norfair. So it's definitely interesting. Yeah, Ancient did just give a and Toasty finally finding the G4, and it looks like this is his seed here now, with nobody else.
I have no idea where he found it, because like you have to be looking at exactly the right time.
Yeah, but either way, definitely a good thing. He spent the better part of half an hour looking for that, so he is now on his way to beating the game, and unless a tragedy happens, it looks like he's going to be the winner.
Yeah, he's pretty much got this at this point, I think. He's got Plasma, which is a better beam than Alucard has, so Alucard doesn't have very much of a chance to catch up, even if he finds G4 really soon.
Alright. He would need to find G4 pretty quickly, as well as Toasty to probably second try Mother Brain. But it is possible. Remember that Toasty does not have Varia, so he will take a lot of damage from Rainbow Beam. So if he makes some mistakes during Mother Brain 2, it is possible that he can't complete the fight. He does have reserves though, so he should be fine. We can see Toasty facing the wrong direction here, facing left. But at this point, it doesn't really matter. 40 frames shouldn't cost him much. And he's on his way to Mother Brain. Gonna take the safety save. Definitely don't blame him there. Just in case something goes wrong. Wouldn't wanna spend however long looking for G4 again. Not gonna have quite enough supers to only use supers for his appetites, but it's not a big deal. He has a plethora of missiles and charged plasma to deal with Mother Brain. And Mother Brain 1 is down with pretty much no trouble. X-raying the head, a little bit of BM. Can't really fault him too much. He played well. He earned it. Looks like that's it. Taking a... cutting it a little bit close with the damage there. But that's Mother Brain 2 down, and that's... He's not even going for stand-up. No need to risk anything. So he's gonna be done in just a couple minutes here. Definitely a really impressive run, even with the time spent looking for the G4. You can see on the other streams, Ancient is currently fighting his last boss, fighting Dragon. We'll see how long it takes him to find G4 again. I don't know if he remembers it or not. Meanwhile, Alucard is still looking for G4, and Monk is unfortunately a little bit behind, but he definitely played very well for someone so inexperienced tackling a not easy randomizer at all. Anything you wanted to add?
Let's see. Yeah, like he definitely knows how to do he definitely knows how to do a fair bit of things. I think his approach to certain rooms, like I notice he tries to go all the way through certain rooms that aren't really advisable to take that approach in. And that's just like inexperience with door randomizer specifically.
It's definitely something you need to get used to for less experienced runners. It just feels counterintuitive to just go back through the same door, even though usually it's the best call.
Yeah, so given that, I'm kind of curious specifically what caused him to not find gravity. And that could very well be as simple as like he just didn't go in the door that it was in. It's probably something like that. But never know.
You never know. But
he did find Varia before everyone else too.
Yes, that he did. Either way, the Toasty finishing up the escape almost out of Turian and into Criteria. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he has high jump, and he doesn't have speed booster. So it's a little bit slower than he would like, but he's got plenty of time, and with
basically a low percent escape. He does have space jump though.
Right. But with Alucard and Ancient both still hunting for G4, he's really in no danger of not winning. He got a nice ledge grab climb going on here. We'll see if he goes down to save the animals. I hope so, but we will see.
This is the kind of randomizer where you don't expect races to be close.
Yeah, that is true. There's a lot of I wouldn't necessarily say luck. It's not completely luck, but there is definitely luck involved. And see Toasty finishing with a official SRL time of 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 59 seconds. GG to Toasty. That was an incredible run.
Yeah, he had 3 bosses down around the hour mark. Wasn't too long after that for Dragon. Like, really, the biggest time sink was G4, and it seems to be the biggest time sink for
Right.
the other runners as well. Well, we'll see if Ancient can find it quickly, because that won't be true for him if he finds it quickly.
Alucard, though, has been looking for, I think at this point, just as long as Toasty. Does pick up the Varia suit, though, so nice to have, but not gonna do him any good at this point. And Monk, unfortunately, getting stuck in the sand pit again. That's really another thing where it comes down to inexperience. Just not knowing or not being careful when running into rooms and potentially just soft locking yourself like that.
So on that note, has anyone found high jump?
I think most high jump was in West Ocean. In the item you needed super missiles to get to, I believe. So I want to say everyone besides Toasty had high jump. I'm not totally sure. It looks like Alucard and Ancient have high jump.
I can tell from the side passages Monk is going in, he's not really sure how to get through this maze. But he figured it out pretty quickly.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not 100% sure how to get through it. I just kind of spam spring ball until I go through.
It's pretty much what you do, like you just pretty much always go right.
You'll make it through eventually. So I heard somebody in chat a little while ago say that G4 was on the right side of Cathedral. I don't know if Ancient remembers that, or if it's even correct. But
or you know where Cathedral is. That's important.
Yeah, too. That too.
Like for me, when I like try to remember where something is, the door that I remember is usually way earlier in the chain than the door that leads directly to it. So like I remember what door I went through that's like in a bit more familiar of an area, and then kind of what the sequence was from there, but I don't remember most of the doors in between.
What I was saying was, assuming Ancient finds Cathedral, will he remember to go right? But we will see. Hopefully. I'm gonna take a ship save. Maybe it's just a ship refill, I'm not sure. Ancient Gamer and Alucard both have all bosses I think Monk only has Kraid, actually. But everyone else has everyone, yeah.
This could have been extremely fast. Just, like remembering where G4 was instantly.
Right. Even with the detour to find G4, a sub 2-hour door randomizer is still very fast. The seed was definitely a lot more generous than the 3 o'clock race. I don't think there's an official leaderboard for Dorando.
There isn't a leaderboard for any Rando, really, because the time just completely depends on the seed.
Right.
Main competition is just like from race to race.
I have seen. I think it was Wild finished one in like sub-hour. Oh. But
I mean, it can happen for sure. The thing is, it's usually more of a testament to the seed, the player.
Howdy. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, Toasty, welcome. Congratulations.
Got our first place finisher, Toasty Muffins, here for an interview.
Thanks so much, guys. Yeah, that was a good one. I watched part of the earlier one today, and I was like, oh, I was bracing myself for like 4.5 hours tonight. But I was glad that I was like, oh gosh, gravity, like so. Pretty early, and then screw attack. I was like, oh, thank goodness. Okay, it should be okay. So I'm glad it worked out pretty well.
I want to ask you, like, what was going through your head while you were looking for G4? Like, I saw you say in chat that you knew it was in Cathedral.
Yeah, I remember going to Cathedral like really early and then like leaving because I was without a suit, and then I found it again when I found G4, and like I just could not. I made like the wrong mental notes of like how to get there. I was like, okay, so Cathedral's first, and then to get to Cathedral, and then it's just blank. I was like, I need to make mental notes right now, and then I just totally failed. So after the last boss, it was just a search everywhere. I was trying basically to go places I had been before and avoid places I hadn't been before. So I was like, as long as I stick to places I've been before, I'll hopefully run into it again. So yeah, it was just like shit. I really want to find this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it is a good thing you did. Since I'm pretty sure you're watching the stream, but both Alucard and Ancient are both looking for G4, so...
Yeah. How close were they to finishing the 4 bosses?
I believe you finished them first, and then Alucard did pretty soon after, and Ancient actually just recently finished his Dragon fight to get all 4 bosses. So he hasn't been looking for near as long.
Cool. Gosh, and can I ask where was Varia?
Varia, it was in Ridley E-Tank, but I couldn't tell you how people got to it.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's pretty wild that, yeah. We have one runner who found Varia and not Gravity. I suppose maybe Alucard or AG found it as well.
Actually, everyone has found Varia at this point.
That's crazy. Yeah, I totally didn't find it.
Yeah, well, we saw you didn't need it, so definitely an impressive mother brain.
Yeah, that mother brain
So
was like...
Alucard actually has not found the location of G4 period, and we were talking earlier about that may have actually given him an advantage over you potentially in the search, because he's looking for places he hasn't been.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Whereas if you're looking for
Yeah.
places that you have been, then it's like it can be easy to overlook a place you've already been because your mind's still screaming at you not to go there.
Yeah, I noticed I got looped in the same loops several times. I was like, okay, I gotta find a new loop or an old loop that I haven't been for a while. Yeah, it was
A new old loop.
yeah, a new old loop. Yeah, dang, and I was yeah, that's so hopefully he'll find, because that's tricky. I guess there was a green door there, so that'll help him. You know, once he gets there, hopefully he'll shoot that green door, because it should still probably be green, although it hasn't been there yet.
I would imagine he is thinking the same, or he will think the same thing once he finds it.
I was gonna say, yeah, the mother brain. That had to have been the most passive mother brain I've ever fought. There was like 3 meatballs, and that was it. It was like nothing. Cool. It was like 3 meatballs and 1 ketchup. That was the entire attack. Okay. Also, my graphics got a little messed up. They got like shifted there, and the doors weren't working.
Oh yeah.
I ended
saw
up
that?
reloading just to fix that. Yeah.
What happened was, can probably explain it better if he's still here, but basically the door was not in the place where it should have been when you went through the door transition.
Oh.
And yeah.
Yeah.
So it messed up everything.
Yeah, I think that was when you found backdoor shack tool.
Oh yeah.
And
that's right.
The camera's like set not to scroll in that area until you've power bombed the wall open.
Oh, good call. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, and I remember like jumping down, trying to get out of the spore spawn room. That probably kind of bonked it up, yeah.
The spore spawn room, you can't do it in because it doesn't move horizontally at all.
Oh, okay.
So,
interesting.
I'm pretty sure it was the shack tool room that did it.
Oh.
Yeah, there are definitely some interesting glitches that occur from entering rooms backwards. Oh, okay. Looks like Ancient found G4 here, right?
Oh yeah, I think that was it. It was that's it. Yeah, he's like, oh, don't go back. Ooh. Okay.
So Ancient, luckily not spending half an hour.
There you go. Oh no, Alucard was in the room. He was in the room right before it. And he just
was he? I wasn't looking. I was looking at.
He was just in the room before Cathedral, but he went through the other exit.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
That actually means like with the search, it's probably going to be a while before he ends up here again.
Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, Alucard has been searching for quite a long time as well. So.
Yeah, dang, that was yeah. Yeah, that was
so
the most
like Ancient Gamer.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Ancient Gamer at this point, definitely the person who spent the least amount of time searching for Golden 4.
Cool. Yeah, he probably took better mental notes than I did, or maybe real notes. Because I think CFB pointed out if you write on a notepad, it's actually a tool assisted run. But I don't know. It's way up to debate.
Well, we know Toasty would never cheat like that.
I actually was looking for a pen and paper when I started, but I was like, I can't. There's nothing. I'm just gonna go. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, speaking
It
of
worked out in the end.
by the way, Elm, I gotta say I was definitely impressed with the reverse entry into the gravity room through the back door ship. Crystal Flash and X-ray climb. I had never seen that before. That was really cool.
Oh, thanks. I've used that in the puzzle race before.
Oh yeah. No, I don't remember it paying off at all, but it was still very cool.
It paid off in the puzzle race I did. It was one of Ponk's. I don't remember what the objective was really.
Oh,
But
cool.
yeah, in the rando, not so much. It appears that door connection isn't randomized.
Oh yeah,
And like
'cause
it makes sense because you're never supposed to go in there. But
right.
I
It actually
figured
went right to the gravity room. Yeah.
I figured since there's no logic actually applied to this that it might still randomize that.
Maybe it was just a coincidence that it wasn't randomized, but who knows?
Could have been, but it's really unlikely.
Yeah, I would have assumed it would be randomized. They wouldn't discriminate against gray doors or anything, right? But hey, only one way to find out, and now we know. So
We see a 2 for 2 with a facing left, the wrong direction at
Oh.
Baby Metroid. Come on. The runners are slacking.
Not looking back at this race. There's another dumb thing. I think I screwed up. I went to go save, and then I clicked the wrong button, I think. And then was too embarrassed to go back in there, so I just went for
That was an extended sound effect from Ancient. I assume that was just stream lag. Kind of interesting.
No, that's... I don't know what that is. Like, that doesn't happen in vanilla, but I hear that happen in most randomizer ROMs. I think it happens in the practice hack, too.
Huh.
Like, there's some edit made to the game that causes it to happen. I have no idea what it is.
I mean, I assume it has something to do with the removed fanfares, probably?
Maybe. That might be... That you're actually probably right. That's probably it.
I mean, if you don't know, then I definitely don't know. I was just guessing.
I just mean, I can't think of anything else that makes sense.
And we got Ancient coming up on Mother Brain here. He's got Varia, so there's very little that can really go wrong here. So he should be finishing soon as well. Not quite sub 2 hours, but still a decent time for a Rando.
I mean, sub 2.5 hours is extremely decent still. Like, anywhere around 2. 3 hours, I would say, is still decent. But this was I guess, friendlier seed, for lack of a better word.
It's definitely a lot better than last season.
I do like that I do like that we had two different kind of... We had basically opposite seeds to showcase the full variety, the full range of effects that the Rando can have, I should say.
So we actually have Alucard forfeiting from the race. I guess he just got tired of looking for G4 and gave up. Definitely unfortunate, but that's just what happens sometimes. With some of the rooms you need to go to only having one door that leads to them, it can be very difficult to find.
Yeah, that's too bad. He was right there. Yeah, he was 2 doors away, basically. Yeah, this is how. I mean, yeah, it's just like there's only one door, and how many doors are in the game? You know. So
There's a lot.
Yeah.
And, unfortunately, Monk is still quite a bit behind the other 3 runners. But I'm not sure what he's doing. He's having a bit of trouble getting out of the ocean.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
something.
I don't think he has high jump. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Thought he did, but maybe he doesn't.
No, he definitely does. But even so, this is not really an easy place to figure out how to navigate.
Yeah, I've never
Out
been
the
in this
water.
spot without a suit before, so that, yeah.
It's not something. Well, you can technically
You got
reach
it.
it without a suit in the vanilla game, but you have to be doing it on purpose, basically. So
Yeah,
not something most players would be used to.
right. I guess it's an RBO run if you fall in the water. So, going through the Forgotten Highway there.
And see, Ancient having both high jump and speed boost, you're gonna make this quite a bit faster. And he should be finishing in just a moment.
That was another
Yeah,
fun
so
thing.
it looks like Alucard's gotta go to sleep, so don't think he'll be joining us.
Yeah, but like I said, it can be really frustrating not being able to find that last room you need to find, be Phantom, G4 or otherwise. So you can't really blame him for not continuing after looking for so long.
I can't, but at the same time, I'm a little surprised, given I know he's been through this dozens of times before. But it is late for some people.
We have Ancient not dunning yet.
But yeah, very good game to Ancient and Alu as well. I'm glad we had 4 runners tonight. That was fun.
So he's actually disconnected from IRC.
I still can't get in SRL.
Oh, well, that explains a lot.
I've been disconnected 30 times, man.
Good race, Ancient.
All right.
Whoops.
Oh, okay. I see.
I haven't officially done. What am I last? What? I don't even know what the hell is going on.
Well, good news is
You're actually still connected under your regular Nick, so there's a Nick collision going on.
I don't know if you can like manually put in a .done for someone else as a mod. I don't know how that works. But anyways, yeah, good GG to Ancient. I noticed you took a lot less time actually finding G4 than some of the other runners. Wanted to know how you felt about how long it took to find that.
So I just realized what happened. He's not actually in here, but we momentarily heard his audio through his stream.
Oh, I'm like big dumb.
Oh,
Think we
I
will
saw him
get
in
him in
setup.
here.
Okay, now we actually have him in here.
Hey guys, I'm trying to done. I've been kicked off the SRL channel about 25 times. I keep trying to log back into it. That's every time you see me stop. That's what I've been doing. I still can't get back in.
Try again. This should work now, hopefully.
I'm doing it now. I mean, it'll tell me join channel. Let's see. Okay, there I am. Let me done for God's sake.
Hey, good game.
Finishing with the official SRL time of 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 37 seconds.
I'm a little salty about that. I'm not gonna lie. Good race, Toasty. Good game.
Thank you. Likewise, man. Good game.
But anyways, like I said, while I was definitely not thinking you were in the call when I heard your voice through the stream, I noticed that you didn't take quite as long to actually find G4 as some of the other runners did.
That's why.
How you felt about that?
I was trying to concentrate and log back in. I couldn't remember exactly the path. It wasn't until I got in there to the cathedral that I remembered, oh yeah, this is where it was. But that's why I saved at the ship and kept resetting, because I was like, I know it wasn't very far from the ship. I just can't remember where it was. So that was the deal there. It was way early in the game I found it. I remember that.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, you were the first person to actually find G4. So I guess that paid off.
Yeah, it did. It did. I mean, I spent a little more time wandering around than I wished. Finding that little alleyway from ship straight over to Big Pink so I could work every door out of Big Pink was a big help. And keep coming back and saving. Finding gravity was really the thing. Once I found gravity in charge, I tried Ridley that first time. I figured it wasn't going to go, but you know, what the hell? I had some stuff. I thought maybe I could do it, but it didn't work out. I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to find Dragon.
I think Dragon was my last boss. I think
it was everyone's last boss, actually.
How fast did you find Phantoon, Toasty?
Definitely, it was after Kraid and Ridley.
That was my first boss.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was in a great location. I think the first time I found Big Pink, I didn't have supers though, so I couldn't even go through that door.
Yeah.
Uh,
Me either. I come in there.
Yeah.
I was having a flashback from the last seed when we spent an hour and a half trying to get supers, and I was like, please God,
I
no,
know. Yeah. It was...
not this again. But it worked out all right. It did. It worked out all right.
Yeah. Oh, I think Monk is about to hop in to Phantoon right now.
Sweet. How's Alu doing?
He forfeited after searching for G4 for an hour. He said he had to go to sleep, I believe.
Okay.
But AT, I just want to say I was in, I think, pretty much the same boat with regards to G4. I had found Cathedral and G4 sometime earlier, and I just couldn't figure out how to get back to the Cathedral room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes of just searching for G4 again, even though I'd been there.
But that was great. I'm really glad they finally had one of these on randomizer. I know that they're not for everybody. I get that. But what I like about door randomizers is they are pretty much the ultimate equalizer. If you've got, if you got competent skill, you have a chance to win against anybody. And I like that. It's a pretty level playing field.
I definitely agree with you there.
I know that this seed was a little different than the first one. I hope I didn't throw you off a couple of those glitches going through the fake Edicune room and all that. But it just speeded it up a bit, not having to do series and taking out the fanfares and everything.
I mean, we saw Elm do the backdoor in Gravity last race, so I think we've seen quite a bit.
Yeah, that was. I managed to watch the VOD the last race while I was eating before we got into this one, and that was pretty awesome what Elm did there.
Hmm.
Well, good game, y'all. It's late. It's like 1:21. I have to work in the morning. I appreciate y'all putting this on. Y'all have a good night. I'm out of here.
All right, very good game, man. Have a good night.
I don't know how much longer we're gonna stay here. It seems like Monk has a bit left since he hasn't actually killed Dragon or Ridley, but it is getting pretty late over here on the East Coast. So
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer they want us to stick around.
Yeah, well, thanks guys for bringing me in for an interview and for hosting the race and doing great commentary. I'm looking forward to watching this one back. So thank you very much. I'm gonna hop off. Have a good weekend.
See you, Toasty.
Yeah, congrats again.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Looks like Monk getting stuck in the sand pit. Doesn't look like he knows you can actually bomb jump out of those. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Is he trying to X-ray climb out of it? I don't think that works. That definitely unfortunate.
Yeah, congrats again.
Looks like Monk getting stuck in the sand pit. Doesn't look like he knows you can actually bomb jump out of those. That's really unfortunate. Is he trying to X-ray climb out of it? I don't think that works. Looks like we lost audio from Monk.
Alright, so I think we are going to wrap up here for the night. But shoutouts to everyone for racing this. It's definitely not easy randomized to partake in.
Really shout out to like Monk especially, even though he's pretty far behind. Tackling something like this for the first time on stream definitely takes a lot of bravery, and so kudos for him for taking it on.
Yeah, also Ancient Gamer for taking 2 of these in one day. That's fairly tall ask, I will say. Especially with how bad the one earlier was.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you would enjoyed what you saw from these runners, make sure you give them a follow. I believe Monk will still be going on for however long he feels like continuing. But that will be it for us. I've been Elminster.
I'm TG Derp.
Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night. I do believe this is last race of the day, but if you'd like to see more speed gaming content, make sure you follow Speed Gaming 1 through 6.
However many they have now.
I think 6 isn't really in operation much yet, but it will definitely be used, so make sure you follow it and stay tuned. Peace, y'all.
See ya.